The Great Deluge. Floods that swallowed nations. A year began with torrential rains that seemed to have no end. In January, a series of powerful storms swept across Southeast Asia, causing massive flooding in countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Rivers overflowed their banks, submerging entire towns and displacing millions of people. The floods were exacerbated by deforestation and the destruction of natural wetlands, which had once acted as a buffer against such disasters. By February, the flooding had spread to other parts of the world. In Europe, the Rhine and Danube rivers burst their banks, inundating cities like Cologne and Budapest. In the United States, the Mississippi River swelled to record levels, flooding vast swathes of the Midwest. The economic toll was staggering, with billions of dollars in damages and countless lives lost. But the worst was yet to come. In March, a catastrophic flood hit Bangladesh, a low-lying country already vulnerable to rising sea levels. A combination of heavy monsoon rains and a powerful cyclone caused the Brahmaputra River to overflow, submerging nearly a third of the country. Millions were left homeless, and the death toll climbed into the hundreds of thousands. The world watched in horror as entire villages were swept away, their inhabitants clinging to rooftops and trees in a desperate bid for survival.
The eruption of Volcano awakens while the world was grappling with floods and wildfires. Another disaster was brewing beneath the surface. In September, the long-dormant Yellowstone supervolcano in the United States showed signs of activity. Scientists had been monitoring the volcano for years, but the sudden increase in seismic activity caught everyone off guard. On September 15, the volcano erupted, sending a massive plume of ash and gas into the atmosphere. The eruption was so powerful that it could be heard hundreds of miles away, and the ash cloud quickly spread across the continent, blocking out the sun and plunging the region into darkness. The immediate aftermath was catastrophic, with entire towns buried under layers of ash and toxic gases poisoning the air. The eruption had global consequences as well. The ash cloud spread across the northern hemisphere, disrupting air travel and causing a temporary drop in global temperatures. Crops failed, leading to food shortages, and the economic impact was felt around the world. The Yellowstone eruption was a reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human civilization.
The pandemic. A disease without borders. If the natural disasters weren't enough, 2025 also saw the emergence of a new and deadly pandemic. The virus, dubbed H5N1, was a highly contagious strain of avian flu that jumped from birds to humans. The first cases were reported in China, but the virus quickly spread to other parts of the world. Aided by global travel and the breakdown of healthcare systems in the wake of the other disasters, the virus was particularly deadly, with a mortality rate of over 20%. Hospitals were overwhelmed, and governments struggled to contain the outbreak. Lockdowns and travel restrictions were imposed, but the virus continued to spread, mutating into new and more dangerous strains. By the end of the year, millions had died, and the world was once again in the grip of fear and uncertainty. The aftermath. A world forever changed. By the end of 2025, the world was a very different place. The disasters had left a trail of destruction in their wake, with millions dead and countless more displaced. The global economy was in shambles, and governments were struggling to cope with the scale of the crisis. But amidst the devastation, there were also signs of hope. The disasters had forced humanity to confront the consequences of its actions, and there was a growing recognition of the need for change. Governments around the world began to take bold steps to address climate change, investing in renewable energy and reforestation projects. International cooperation increased as countries worked together to rebuild and prepare for future disasters. But the scars of 2025 would never fully heal. The year had been a wake-up call, a reminder of the fragility of our planet and the need to take care of it. As the survivors looked to the future, they knew that the world would never be the same again. The disasters of 2025 had changed everything, and the lessons learned would shape the course of history for generations to come.